What a nightmare. Everything that went right the first 6 games went wrong today.
Boy, oh boy, are the Saints behind the 8 ball now.
When the ball could have bounced maybe our way once or twice, it just never did.
We look back at the Saints and Ravens. 4th down starts right now.
This is the last word on sports. 4th down on 4.
Welcome into 4th down on 4. I'm Scott Cody. A 5-1 record heading into the bye week is unexpected from the Saints as their performance today after the bye week against the Ravens. The final score, 35-22, but at one point it was even worse, 35-7. What could go wrong did go wrong Sunday. After their bye week, the only time it seemed the Saints were a step ahead was on the opening kickoff when they were flagged for being offsides. Even the momentum of a forced turnover on the Ravens' first series was negated shortly thereafter by a Saints fumble.
On 3rd down, I'm just trying to run it there to punt the ball, play the field position game at that point in the first series, and we turn it over. Now they got the ball again on the midfield, so any advantage in regards to field position is diminished right there.
And it would get worse. That turnover would lead to the game's first points. Baltimore's drive helped out by 2 uncharacteristic penalties. The Saints would have 10 on the day, doubling their average through their first 6 games.
A bad combination today. We were playing a great team and a great defense, and you know, we definitely shot ourselves in the foot. So we just want to come back and go back to the drawing board and come ready to play next Sunday.
This Sunday, with an extra week to prepare, the Saints offense had several new wrinkles, none of which those seemed to work. Like a failed halfback pass in the first quarter, which left the Saints without the ball and without any points.
I played Reggie, threw the ball up, hoping I could make a play on it, and you know, I couldn't find any lights, and you know, I tried to adjust to it, but by then it was too late.
Probably got too cute a couple times in the red zone. That cost us, and that's on me. Now I've got to do a better job.
Meanwhile, acting as his team's new offensive coordinator, Raven head coach Brian Billick called a masterful game. After the turnover, Baltimore went on an 11-play drive covering 80 yards, ending in a touchdown from Steve McNair to Clarence Moore, making it 14-0.
Ultimately, they were able to get to 2nd and 5. And on offense, we weren't.
I mean, I don't think any team in the NFL could win after turning the ball over as many times as we did or giving up as many 3rd down conversions as we did defensively.
And even when the Saints seemed to catch a break, they really didn't. The infamous tuck rule would rob them of a turnover. A dropped pass led to another score. But down 21-0, New Orleans got a spark from their native son. Michael Lewis, playing for the first time since last season, returned the kickoff 46 yards. That spark led to the Saints' first score. But this spark had a short fuse. With the Ravens threatening, Scott Fujita appeared to have an interception in the end zone. But Jason Kraft's slight tip of the ball put the Saints in a 28-7 halftime hole.
Great play by Jason, just kind of a bad luck situation. I mean, I was right there, you know, kind of waiting for it. Would have had a chance to, you know, down in the end zone and give our offensive ball back with 15 seconds left and prevent them from scoring. But it's just one of those days, you know. Like I said, a combination of them kind of beating our butt a little bit and us not getting any breaks.
The Saints would then open the second half with 2 more penalties, and on their second possession, Drew Brees threw his second pick that went for a touchdown.
Obviously, we had 5 today, and they had 1, so I can tell you already that your chances aren't very good with that. And yet still, you know, I count 3 times that we were down inside their 10-yard line and came away with 0 points. You know, whether that was penalties that kind of drove us back and then we couldn't convert, or turning it over, or whatever it might have been. And so to lose by, you know, 2 touchdowns and have 3 of those opportunities get squandered, and the fact that we gave them 2 touchdowns as an offense, it just, you know, it hurts. It's very disappointing.
And joining us tonight, WWL radio show host and the Saints sideline reporter Kenny Wilkerson. And Kenny, after the game, Reggie Bush talking about his ankle injury, saying it was just a sprain. He's okay. He'll play next week. And this is the NFL. You play with injuries. You say he's been doing it for quite some time now.
Actually, since the very first game of the season against Cleveland, that knee got sprained. And he's had some trouble with his ankle as well, but they're just sprains. That's part of football. He has to deal with that, and he has done a very nice job of toughening up and dealing with it, as have most of the players, if not the bulk of them on this football team. Deuce is doing the same thing. He's having some soreness in that knee, the reconstructed knee of him, and he's doing a nice job of toughening it up. Although I do think that we are starting to see some indications with Deuce, especially in the fact that a lot of straight ahead. He's having a hard time doing some other things. So we'll see how they adjust with that in weeks to come.
Injuries or not, the Saints, though, definitely not where they want to be running the ball. 14 carries as a team, only 35 yards. Juan Kincaid caught up with Deuce McAllister after the game.
All right, thanks very much, Scott. Here with Deuce McAllister. And Deuce, I know you guys had the week off. They had the week off, but it seemed like your team came out just a little rusty this time.
Yeah, we didn't execute like we normally, would have. You turned the ball over. You had penalties. You had mistakes. Can't blame anybody but yourself.
How disappointing is it that this is the kind of result you get from having an extra day's rest and an extra day to prepare for Baltimore?
Well, it's disappointing. I mean, it's not the end of our season, but it's a loss. We'll go back and we'll review it, and then we'll move on to Tampa. But we take the good with the bad.
Are you curious to see how this team does recover in this game with a divisional game next week?
I feel pretty confident with this team. I think each individual will evaluate his play and see exactly, where we stand individually, and collectively we'll be ready to play next week.
I know the disappointing part for you and Reggie is that the touches didn't come your way. Sean said this team has to be able to run the ball and run it successfully to find success in this league, and it didn't happen today because of the situation you were put in.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't get first downs, it's hard for the touches to be spread, amongst the guys that we have. So, when they're there, you got to take advantage of them. When they're not, it's going to be a rough day.
All right, Deuce, thanks.
No problem.
The Ravens and DeJuan Landry.
Thanks, Juan. More with Juan in just a little bit. But talking about that lack of a running game, there was a point in the game when the Saints were inside the 10-yard line, and the Ravens took all 11 of their guys. No pass rush, put them on the goal line, and the Saints offensive line was shadow boxing. It was almost as if the Ravens were in their huddle today.
I think the Ravens were a much better prepared football team today. I think they showed that. I think they were ready for most of what the Saints threw at them. They didn't catch them off guard. They didn't bite on fakes. They didn't bite on play action. Of course, they're not going to bite on play action when you can't run it anyway. And I think they seem to be the much more prepared football team. And as Zeus was just saying, I mean, everybody's anxious to see how they're going to come back. I think they're very anxious to see. I think everybody's anxious to see. But as much as a surprise, regardless of anybody, if they don't want to admit that it was a surprise, 5-1 was a surprise. Today was as much of a surprise.
Good point, but it is going to be interesting to see how this team bounces back. As we mentioned, both teams did come off a bye week. 2 weeks ago, the Saints had the momentum coming off a win against the Eagles, but they couldn't get anything going today. Is the bye week to blame for the team's poor play? The players answer that question when we come back. Welcome back into Fourth Down. Well, Drew Brees doesn't want to make any excuses. In fact, he says he's had some of his best games as an NFL player after bye weeks, but something was missing today. Juan Kincaid with a deeper look into how the Saints went into their bye week as one team and came out another.
A bye week equaled extra time off for both the Saints and Ravens, but apparently the Saints were still on holiday today.
The obvious is, and I told our team this, you can't expect to win turning the ball over like we did today 5 times.
Fresh from last Sunday off, the Saints looked rusty in their return to action, with penalties and turnovers ruining the afternoon.
The most telling stat of a game every time around is turnover, takeaway ratio, and obviously we had 5 today, and they had 1. So I can tell you already that your chances aren't very good with that.
Frustrating is the biggest word. I mean, because we're a better team than what we showed. Baltimore contributed to that, but I mean, at the same time, we got to be responsible for our jobs.
All-star offense. Penalties, 10 in all, killed them. Points off those giveaways put the game out of reach early.
I felt like everybody was keeping their head up. Everybody was, still in tune. We felt like we could get something going, but over and over again, we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot, and unfortunately, it cost us the game.
Review the tape, and, you're just going to see what went wrong. In a lot of ways you can tell, penalties and, turnovers. When you have those type of mistakes and that defense is going to feed off of it and give that offense a short field, then, it's hard to beat a team like that.
When you make mistakes on your end of the field, they result in points. And in this case, if you just go back and look at the turnovers, that's what happens. So it's not any magic formula. It went against everything we've been trying to accomplish, and again, we just got to get back and make the corrections.
All in all, the Saints committed 5 turnovers. The players carry much of the blame, but the head coach is quick to take some of it as well. Payton says better preparation, especially after a Sunday off, is needed.
I've got to do a better job getting these guys ready to play coming off the bye. So that schedule we just used didn't work.
Sean Payton said earlier in the week that turnovers and field position would decide the outcome of this game. He was right. So all the momentum the Saints had built in the first 6 games went away in this game's first 30 minutes. From the Superdome, I'm Juan Kincaid, 4th Down on 4.
And the numbers don't lie. Drew Brees almost 400 yards passing, but his overall passer rating just 76.4, well below his average for the year. The trick plays, they backfired today as well with the Bush INT in the end zone. The ground game virtually non-existent this afternoon. As a team, the Saints averaged just 2.5 yards per carry. Through the air, though, Marcus Colston and Joe Horn on the receiving end of most of Brees' passes. Joe Horn's touchdown in the second quarter gave him 49 as a Saint. That's a club record. He passes Eric Martin. And you saw his stats, another huge, quiet game for Marcus Colston. And Kenny, have you ever seen a guy put up these kind of numbers that could very well earn him Rookie of the Year numbers, yet he's only pretty much known around these parts?
No, I mean, I don't think anybody in the league has ever seen anything like this before, and that's why he's getting the pub that he is, and deservingly so. He does a nice job out there. He does a nice job of taking some coverage over, and there's times that they go to Joe Horn with the football when the coverage has rolled over to Colston because teams are aware of it. The Ravens were aware of it, of what they were wanting to do in the passing game. They countered that, though, with their pass rush, and that's what I meant by earlier, or another thing that I meant by earlier about them being much more prepared.
And I think you'll start seeing this, too, though. They put McAllister on him. He's their top cover corner, if I'm not mistaken, for the Ravens, rather than putting McAllister on Horn. He'll probably start seeing the team's top corner, don't you think?
Well, you know, it seemed like to me what they were doing was they were putting McAllister on him, then they had the safety roll over to help out the person that was covering Joe Horn. So they were mixing it up pretty good. Listen, they're a good football team. They showed it today. They proved it today that they're a very formidable team and very capable of going a long way.
And real quickly, Steve McNair, 34 years old, showed the type of numbers and showed the type of game that made him an NFL MVP.
He was an eyelash away from winning a Super Bowl. Now, that was a few years ago, but if you give Steve McNair a time to sit back there and drop anchor and throw, he's going to do what he did today. One of the things that I wonder about, and I don't know if it's a problem, nothing's a problem until you see it for 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, but it seemed like it took them a little bit longer to go after him than it maybe should have. It wasn't until maybe late in the third quarter and even fourth quarter before they really started sending some linebackers and some heat at him and blitzing him with a couple different packages and things like that. I would think that, you know, no matter who you're playing, once you're down 2 touchdowns and down by 2 scores, I mean, you could be taking on a high school team. You need to start going after the quarterback and trying to even things back up. And they had success when they did it.
Yeah, it's tough to go after a quarterback, though, that's still as mobile as he is. One of the guys trying to chase down McNair today, Will Smith, Juan Kincaid with him in the locker room.
All right, Scott, thanks very much here with Will Smith. And, Will, defensively, it didn't play that bad, but it seemed like every break went their way.
Yeah, you know, we was out there fighting, and we made plays here and there, but it wasn't enough. You know, they came out, and they were a better prepared team this week.
Well, both of you guys had the same amount of time to prepare because both teams were off last week. Was it a little surprising to yourself and this team that you guys seem to be the rustier of the two?
Well, I don't think we were rusty. We had some turnovers that put us in defense in certain situations, but we got to step up to that challenge and stop him. You know, for instance, a touchdown right before halftime, Scott about to pick it off and gets deflected and it goes through his hands. Another guy catches it. So, you know, just overall, it wasn't our day, and they played better. They played better, and they played mistake-free.
Steve McNair, coming off the concussion 2 weeks ago, plays like we've all known him to be able to play in this football game. Talk about how difficult it was keeping him contained, because when it seemed like he had 3rd and long, he was the one making the plays happen, whether it be him throwing the ball or running for first down.
Yeah, he was scrambling today. He made a couple first downs, and he had a touchdown that he had early, the first drive. But for the most part, he was throwing the ball. He was very accurate, you know, and all the receivers, they were catching it. I don't think it seemed like they didn't drop a pass the whole first half.
We don't want another bye week, I know, because it seems like this team took maybe the momentum kind of dropped off a little bit. We talk about recovering from this game and getting ready for the next game, which is a division opponent.
Well, you know, we got to go back to the drawing board and look what we did good and look what we did bad. You know, we know that we're giving too much yards on first down, and second half we kind of stopped that. And, you know, we were better the second half than we were the first half, but they had that enormous lead, which was hard to fight back. And we gotta do something so we don't let that happen again.
Well, thank you.
His timing, it was
And Sean Payton talked about it. He took a lot of the blame on this bye week, saying he got a little too cute at times with some of the gimmick plays. But, hey, it's those gimmick plays, and gimmick's probably the wrong word, but the different plays, thinking outside of the box, that got the team to 5-1s. And fans, they can't start jumping on the bandwagon of, hey, we got to start running the ball north and south. I mean, this team thinks outside the box. They play outside the box, right?
Yeah, but I don't think the fans, I don't think that's a concern. I mean, the fans here understand good football, and they know they've watched good football for the last couple of months, and today is one of those days that will occur. As I said earlier, it's a problem if it happens 2-3 weeks in a row. So let's wait and see. A good football team, like Coach Payton, you know, he fell on the sword and took it himself. Other players fell on the sword themselves, and that's a mark of a good football team, where they don't start pointing fingers. But let's see where they go from here, and if it's a trend that continues. Tampa, even though I know Tampa lost again today and they don't have a good record, we saw a couple weeks ago they're still a good football team. That'll be a tough game. Then it's on the road to Pittsburgh. It doesn't get easy. It's not. It just gets tougher and tougher as you go along.
Take it week by week. That's what they always say. More Saints talk when we come back, including a plea to Saints fans from one Saints linebacker. Plus, what changes might we see in the Saints the next time out? And later, the Tulane Green Wave have two.
One of the things that I feel like so far has been unique and rare about the season is that, you know, the players and the fans have been this thing together, and that's not just lip service. I really mean that. And granted, we got our asses kicked today, but don't leave early. You know, stick around. Everybody, stick around for us. I mean, they got to miss, you know, Marquise Colston make a great play at the end of the game. You know, Drew start to get some things going. So I really feel like, and all the players feel like, we are in this thing with the rest of this fan base. So, you know, stick around for us.
He said it, Kenny, probably an honest plea, but this happens everywhere in the NFL. You never see 65,000 fans stick around when your team's down 3 touchdowns, right?
Some of the greatest fans in all of sports are the Green Bay Packer fans. I mean, they literally will tell on each other and get season tickets revoked for fans that boo. I'm exaggerating, but actually things like that do occur up there. And when the Saints came back and got a lead on them, there were fans leaving when the game was in, you know, the game was no longer in doubt. This game was 35-7 with 15 minutes to play. I mean, Saints fans here are aware of what they've seen for the last couple of months, and they like it. They were aware of what was going on the field. There's the 30,000 to 40,000 Hoodats that are going to stay till the very end anyway and, you know, cheer on the team. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that said, you know what, let's go. I mean, that's a New Orleans thing. And it's a little disappointing to even know that any of them were aware of it. I think a lot of fans would tell you they should be a little more aware of, or be paying more attention to what's happening on the field than be thinking about what's happening on the stands.
And you brought up a great point as we were talking earlier. 40,000 or so missed Dempsey's kick at Tulane Stadium after they had walked out. So it happens all over the place.
Absolutely. That was a long, long time ago, and it happens in all of NFL stadiums. But yeah, 40,000 walked out of Tulane Stadium and didn't see Dempsey's kick, although now over the years it's folklore that over 1 million were actually there.
The bye week, we've talked about this before, Sean Payton saying that it's his fault. He's got to change up the way he does things. How do you change it up, and what can you see? You were out there this week. You've been out there in years past. What did he do different this week that you probably won't see come next year's bye week?
The schedule as far as when they get away and when they come back. I would think that that's all that he could possibly do.
Just a little less time on the field, you think?
You know, he gave them Monday off. They practiced they had Tuesday film day. They had practice on Wednesday. Then they were off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I would think that you won't see that next week. But that's incidental as far as how they handled the bye week. It's not a matter of how they handled the bye week. It's a matter, remember last week he talked about momentum, and that momentum is not something that happens week to week. It's what happens during the game. Okay, and they just never could seem to get it going. I mean, they had a very good week, a very fast week, a very up-tempo week. They just came out today and they were flat, and they kept making mistakes, and they never rebounded from it. They went nuts at halftime. Players with themselves, not the coaches didn't have to holler and scream or anything like that. The players were policing themselves and taking care of things themselves. They just didn't get it done.
The bounces that went their ways the first 6 weeks didn't go their way today.
And some of the calls as well, too. There was some calls that were the right calls by the officials.
The Tuck rule coming back and haunting them. Where does that? We thought we had buried the Tuck rule. It comes back.
Let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks with the tough schedule that they face and what type of football team responds. I don't have any doubt that they will come back out and continue to play tough football. Guys like Scott Fujita run that defense, and they don't put up with a whole lot of baloney, and neither does Drew Brees on the offensive side of the football. So I think they'll be fine.
Kenny Wilkerson, he doesn't spit out baloney at all either. Thanks for joining us.
I don't eat it either.
You can catch him from 5 to 8 weekdays on WWL Radio. The LSU, or excuse me,